So, Celtic are through to the next round of the Scottish Cup after beating Rangers on penalties in what was a very good game. But what you're about to hear might well be the greatest Rangers fan meltdown of all time, as we hear two Rangers fans come to blows on live radio as one fan called Derek is having a massive meltdown. But before we do show you this, make sure you do like this video and subscribe to the channel for daily Celtic content. Have a listen.
We've been joined by Derek. Afternoon, Derek. How are you doing, pal?
Good afternoon. How are we?
Not great, mate. Not great. Disappointed, of course. What about yourself? What's on your mind?
I think serious questions have got to be asked of the manager and our recruitment. This team's had £50 million spent on it, and today Celtic had 6 of their best players not playing. You're up against the weakest Celtic team it's been in modern history, and we still can't beat them. And that's 3 games Danny Rose just had against Martin O'Neill, and he's won 0 of them. And I think serious questions have got to be asked for the manager. And also, I think Tavernier, Diamonde, Raskin, that should be the final season at the club. Along with, I would never have gave John Suter another contract. That would have been the 4 players I would have ridded out the club. The losers have won Rangers virtually nothing. And you're up against a piss-poor Celtic team.
Just be mindful of your language, pal. Just gets during the day with young ones listening to as well. But listen, of course, it's a high and emotional game. Me personally, I wouldn't be calling for Danny Rule now. I don't think this lies at Danny Rule's door. It's the players that have, not all the players, but some players haven't performed, and some have let us down at big times in big games this season, mate. What's your rationale thinking that Danny Rule needs to go?
Well, if you can't win big games, you can't be the Rangers manager. Like, and if many big games is to win, Celtic at Celtic Park, Hearts at Ibrox. Apart from that, like Livingston, what is that? 2 wins out of possible 7 or 8 games. That's not good enough at this time of the season. And we're rewinding the same thing with Philip Clement. Great start, and when it comes to the chips are down, he just can't deliver. And like people shouting about Olsen and Gasmia, I says on other radio stations that in the transfer window, if they didn't get a number 10, 2 proper wingers and a proper striker, Rangers were going to end up the season with nothing. And I was shouted down by several people, and even on the radio stations, they were surprised. I says that Rangers have no end quality, and Charmity is a bang average player, and people think because he scored 2 goals or how many goals against Celtic, his record is absolutely dreadful. Along with Miovski, along with Gasmia, along with Olsen, they've not got any end product.
But what part of that, Derek, lies with Danny Rule? How much does he take responsibility for players on the park if they don't do the instructions and job? What about the run that Danny Rule got on to come in October to get us back in a position where we believed there was a title, there was a cup at stake? Of course, there's been moments, but does that does the loss today outweigh all that?
Did we do that well, or was it because Celtic brought in Nancy and lost all these games?
For me, mate, I don't think it matters.
At the end of the day, 2 wins out of 7 or 8 is simply not good enough. I don't give it.
What? I'll bring in AK, mate, but for me...
So, how long...
You still there with us, Derek? I'll bring in AK. Stick yourself on mute, pal. We'll come back to you.
How long would you give him then?
I wouldn't be calling for his head after today, mate. Not a chance. AK?
Totally disagree with you, Derek. Everything that you've said, I've heard you before on other radio stations calling for people said all the time. Come on, you had a right go at all the time. You didn't give him any opportunity last year, and now you're doing the same with Danny Rule. It's ridiculous. It's totally knee-jerk reaction. What's he been in? Not even 5 months. And he's got us into a week. Derek, let me finish. Right, so he's been in the club 5 months. He's overtook. Hold on.
2 seconds.
He's come in there, 13 points behind the Hearts, 9 points behind Celtic. You and many others gave up the league in October, and now you're calling for the guy's heat when there's 9 games to go in the league, we've just lost a game there to Celtic in a penalty shootout, a game that we probably deserved to win out of the piece of the game, I would say. Penalty shootouts are totally lottery, and now your knee-jerk reaction again is get rid of the manager, bring somebody else in. Aye, because that's what, Derek. We've got rid of Gio, we get rid of Clement, we get rid of Beale, we get rid of Barry. Barry wasn't good enough for D&O. And now we're the same again. So we just keep running this cycle of doom because you and many other fickle supporters that's out there can't handle a defeat. Ridiculous.
And you come, Derek.
It's not ridiculous. You're up against the worst Celtic team since Ronnie Dyler. They're an absolute dreadful team, and you've not beaten them. They've got 6 of their best players out. They would have walked into any team in Britain, probably. They're bang average. And if you can't beat a bang average Celtic team at Ibrox twice, bang average Celtic team at Ibrox twice, probably to win the double. But whenever you look at the teams left in it, Celtic's already won that cup.
Derek, what do we achieve? What do we achieve if we were to get rid of Danny Rule? What do we achieve at this point in time? If he was to go tonight or tomorrow, what do we do then for the rest of the season?
I've already said to you, if you can't win big games, you can't win the Rangers manager.
No worries, Dick. Listen, thanks for your time, Derek. I appreciate your comment. And listen, but you're being honest, that's your thoughts. Listen, people will disagree and agree with you. Of course, that's what the show's about. It's all about opinions, and people out there, AK, will start questioning Danny Rule because of the results. A lot of support still behind him, but there will be ones out there that start to scratch their heads.
Listen, we're not daft. If we can see what we're watching. And Danny Rule made mistakes last week because he didn't react to the subs and the change of formation that Celtic made last week. So that's where the disappointment comes from initially, and then it magnifies the day. But the piece of the game, I don't think you could be blaming Danny Rule for anything today. He reacted, he made subs when he had to make subs, and it's not his fault that we couldn't dispatch penalties or his striker couldn't put away chances when they came their chance.
So there you go. Derek was absolutely raging with that performance, and of course he's taking his anger out on the manager, and you can tell they got into a little bit of a spat there. Opinions clearly divided between Rangers fans right now. But guys, I want to know your thoughts on the match. What did you make of our performance as a whole? I don't think it was the best performance from us. I think as a neutral person watching that game, it was very exciting. Of course, the scenes afterwards were crazy. But yeah, it was a very exciting game, but as a fan, it was quite frustrating to watch in some aspects. But the main thing is we got through to the next round. That's all that matters. But guys, let me know your thoughts on the match down below. Make sure you do like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.